Hi guys, how are you doing today? It's good to see you. We're almost finished with our 10 lectures that I promised you to do while I was absent. And today we're moving from Spain into France. We're going back to France. The King of France, he ripped his pants. Anyway, we're going to talk about more playwrights. Again, the Renaissance had an important literary genre of drama during that time period, and so we're going to cover a couple of playwrights, and then we will watch a filmed version of one of these guys' plays. And we're going to cover a guy named Moliere, first of all. And you spell Moliere not at all the way you'd think. It is M-O-L-I-E-R-E, Moliere. M-O-L-I-E-R-E, M-O-L-I-E-R-E, Moliere. Moliere was born in 1622, and lived until 1673. His real name was Jean Poquelin. J-E-A-N-P-O-Q-U-E-L-I-N. Jean Poquelin. P-O-Q-U-E-L-I-N. Well, Jean was raised as a very indulged child. He came from a wealthy family. His father, get this, his old man worked for the king of France. Okay, so they lived in Paris. His father was the king's upholsterer, upholstered furniture for the king. You know, the king can't sit in the same throne with the same fabric on it every day. So, of all the furniture building that the king would insist upon and all the recovering of furniture pieces, Jean's dad had a pretty gosh darn good living, okay? Making money from the king's furniture, of all things. Isn't that crazy? So they sent Jean to school to become a lawyer. And he went and went to school. And while he was in law school, he's kind of bored. Him and higher ed just didn't get along very well, you know? And so he hung out with some young people at university, and they partied a lot and went to parties and messed around and went to the theater and drank a lot, you know. And so some of his friends were really into theater and said, "Come on, Jean, come with us to the show. Come with us to the theater. You'll enjoy it. It's a fun experience to go to the theater, see a play." And so he met some of the actors backstage afterwards. He was really taken with the whole notion of theater and the whole notion of acting and all of that. And one of the actors of the cast of the play that he had seen was a beautiful young woman, Armanda. Is that right? No, Madeline. Excuse me. Her name was Madeline. M-A-D-E-L-E-I-N-E. And her last name is Béjart. B-E-J-A-R-T. Madeline, M-A-D-E-L-E-I-N-E, Béjart. B-E-J-A-R-T. And his family was mortified that he was hanging out with these actors. Actors at this time had a very bad reputation. I mean, you can't trust an actor. They're here for 1 week's engagement and then they're someplace else. And what do during their whole career? They lie. They don't even tell the truth during their professional life. They're saying lines written by somebody. They're just kind of a low class, you know, they work at night, they go out after dark, you know, and party, and really no visible, successful means of support, you know. Well, Madeline convinced Jean that he should be an actor, okay? And he became an actor. And that mortified his family even more. And so, to protect his family, to protect their reputation that their son has become an actor, he takes a stage name of Moliere. So that's how come he gets the name Moliere, M-O-L-I-E-R-E. And he creates his own theater group. And he's doing a heck of a job. I mean, these guys are really pretty good actors. They tour all about France, you know, and giving shows here and there. And he says, you know, I'm going to start writing our own plays. And there's no sense of us paying to take somebody else's play and produce it. I'll write my own, and we can perform our own plays. Well, he was darn good at writing plays. He really was. They toured France for 15 years with Moliere as main writer, director, producer, and actor. He got a heck of a reputation as an actor in France. After about 15 years, they came back to Paris, and they performed. They were good by that time, and they performed some of their plays in Paris. The King of France came to their shows. Oh, he loved their plays. He just thought the best ever, absolutely the best ever. And he became a favorite of the king, was invited to the palaces, you know, can you write me a play? Can you put on a special production? I'm having a party and I need some entertainment. So he was quite in demand. However, his lover and he, Madeline, they became lovers way long time ago. They kind of had a falling out. In 1662, Moliere married Madeline's younger sister. Okay, you know, that ain't going to set well. And her name was Armanda. A-R-M-A-N-D-E. A-R-M-A-N-D-E. She was only 20 years old, and he is what? Darn near 50, 60? So, that didn't set very well with Madeline, let me tell you. More about her later. Moliere and Armanda had 3 children, and 2 of them died when they were babies. He and Armanda were not happy, and they lived apart for the majority of their married life. In 1672, just a year before Moliere died, the King of France said on Moliere, I've got another favorite. I've got a younger guy. I've got a better playwright. I've got a better acting troupe that will become my acting troupe. And so Moliere's life kind of crashed. Not too long before, he'd lost his wife, he'd lost his children. His tuberculosis got worse. His life kind of went to heck in a handbasket near the end of his life. He wrote probably, well, we know he wrote more than 30 plays. He probably wrote about 35 plays. And his most famous was written in 1664, not too long before he died. And the name of that play is Tartuffe. T-A-R-T-U-F-F-E. Tartuffe. T-U-R-T-U-F-F-E. His plays are witty. They're all about social customs, family life, the interchange between family members, the relationships between different families, especially rich families, because, you know, we're trying to entertain the king here, in case we got to talk about the upper echelons of society. And they're also kind of close to tragedy, some of them are. Tartuffe is a comedy, though. Oh my God, it's hilarious. You'll see that one soon. I think I want to show Tartuffe. You will laugh. It is hilarious. What was I saying? Oh, but most of them are tragedies, not necessarily comedies. His plays have small casts, usually one setting, They're usually about family matters, and they usually concern a very short time period. Small cast, family matters, one setting, and a short time span. Those are the 4 characteristics of his plays. Moliere also gave us concepts of the theater that we still use today. He gave us the concept of mask, M-A-S-K, mask, and face, F-A-C-E. A character who was a mask character was a stereotypical character. He had this mask on he didn't wear a mask, but he was the long-suffering butler, the poor wife of an alcoholic, the young schoolgirl, the devoted priest. These are characters that you only see one side of. You only see the mask. You don't get into the head to see any kind of motivation. They're stereotypical. The face character is a character that is not stereotypical. We don't know how he's going to jump. We don't know how she's going to react. These people are unpredictable. Mask characters are predictable. Butlers go answer the door when the doorbell rings. Okay? A thief, a spurned lover, you don't know what they're going to do. They're the face characters, the people who have decisions to make, and we have to figure out why they make those decisions unique to their characterization. So we still have, in all kinds of literature, plays, comic books, TV shows, we have the stereotypical postman, short order cook, McDonald's employee, and then we have the more complicated characters, the face characters. Many of his plays are anthologized. Other plays that he wrote include A School for Wives and The Misanthrope. School for Wives and The Misanthrope. M-I-S-A-N-T-H-R-O-P-E. He died after he collapsed on stage. His throat hemorrhaged, his lungs hemorrhaged, actually I should say. He had tuberculosis, and he died of a lung hemorrhage, and he bled to death internally. And that's how he died. He stumbled off stage and collapsed and died backstage. So I guess he died where he kind of lived. So it was kind of appropriate that he should have that kind of a death. So that is Moliere. Be back pretty soon with the second French playwright. Thanks, guys. Hit this little button.